been a 12-month specially funded project to put the system in place.
And we probably should also say that it was part of, we do an employee staff survey every 2 years.
Yeah, yep.
It's called Your Voice.
Yeah.
And they called out 3 areas of focus, and one of them was respect and recognition. So they called out as a focus area because that was quite low in our survey.
Yeah.
So that's something that we didn't necessarily do very well.
Yeah.
So that's where that kind of driver came from. So that's what was even more important to get this over the line, so to speak, because it was a focus area for the particularly the Vice Chancellor's leadership team. Yeah.
So that helped you get buy-in, I guess, as a driver to say, look, our people want this, or there's a gap here that we need to address. Yeah. Was it really challenging to get that special project off the ground, given their hesitance to put money towards a piece of technology?
Yeah, it was super challenging.
What type of things did you kind of have to do or consider to get them across the line?
So it had a huge change management piece in there, that proposal.
Yeah.
So there was a role funded to kind of project manage implementation, but then to also roll out that change management piece following implementation of the system.
Yeah, okay.
And then, so even after that was put in, again, this is again approved in principle, we had to undertake further consultation. So there was another piece of consultation that we had to do with key leaders across the university to then get it over the line again. So it was heavily consulted on. Yeah. And then following that approval, we then had further consultation on the details of our reward and recognition framework.
Yeah, so it's almost like you almost had to get approval for the framework, but then you also needed approval for the actual tech implementation as well as separate things. Yep.
And I think the big thing that kind of keeps coming up is that we're this perception that we're a not-for-profit organisation.
Yeah.
Should sort of be spending money on this, but it's a key driver for our culture and our workplace, and it's something we weren't doing well, so we needed to revamp what we currently have and bring something in that made sense to people and got them to start living our values.
Yeah, yeah. And that would be quite a common perception, not just in non-for-profit, but in quite a large number of organisations where they think, look, we could spend this money elsewhere. Why is it so important for us to implement something like this that's so focused on something very specific? So how did you combat some of those perceptions when you did get pushback?
We broke it down for per employee costs, I think.
Yeah.
And then in the cost benefit analysis, we sort of compared, we did some figures on what it would cost to implement our framework manually.
Oh, yeah.
And then what it would cost and the time sort of savings, etc.
Yeah.
To have it in place.
Yeah.
And another sort of key, I suppose, that got us over the line is that we sort of said, well, we want to be able to say how we're living our values, and this will provide the narrative to that.
Yeah.
So I think that was key actually, because we could sort of quantify that soft. So values are really a really soft sort of piece, and so you don't normally have a lot of data around it.
Yeah, yeah.
To provide that data.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I mean, you get to track then like how many people are nominating or sending e-cards for specific values, all that kind of thing. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, because with our prior system as well, you couldn't track it, and you couldn't track engagement with it either.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any visibility of what was going on. Some areas do it really well, other areas didn't at all, and so it was a really inconsistent approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that cross-unit collaboration wasn't really happening because we couldn't see. Yeah. Yeah. You didn't want that just because you're an area that might have, a large and flexible budget, that doesn't mean that there are smaller areas or areas that don't have that flexibility with budgets. That didn't mean that they couldn't reward and recognise their staff.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the challenge with like such a big organisation where like different pockets of the university would have markedly different, like even within their teams, different budgets, different cultures, different leadership styles. Like you want it to be able to be consistent across the board and actually open it up to everybody, which is really nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you find that like, because I know with universities generally there is that split between, I guess, your academic stuff and your professional stuff. Did you find that there was take up between one and the other? Like, were there some like areas in the uni who were more for it, some that were a bit more resistant?
Yeah, so our professional general staff are probably a lot more, there's more change agents than our academic.
Yeah, which is probably consistent in most universities, I'd say.
Yeah, so they're probably always a little bit critical and kind of, why are we putting money into this?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of senior leadership, or not senior, but there are leaders that are, that don't quite get the importance of recognition yet. So that's a huge piece that we need to work on in terms of embedding the change.
Yeah.
As to why it is that we recognise and then the value that brings.
Yeah, and it's such a big mind shift for a lot of people as well, especially like doing any sort of structured recognition, let alone using a piece of technology to do it. It's such a big change for them in terms of their attitude as well as their behaviour. So it would be like, it's something that's going to take a bit of time to get people across the line, especially in such a big organisation. Yeah.
I don't think that we really have a lot of work to do in terms of creating awareness around the impact that an engaged workforce can have on the success of an organisation.
How have you done it so far? Like, how did you how did you go about launching the whole program and in educating people? Because I've seen when I hopped online and I saw Red, I was like, wow, you guys have so much really strong, really powerful content already on there. So how did you go about like building all of that up and like making sure that it was in front of people and that they were logging on and using it?
We did a lot of comms. We also did during the implementation. We also went around to offered portfolio consultations. So at their leadership meetings, we went to a few of the portfolio leadership meetings to discuss RED and what it would look like. And kind of step people through the framework. Yeah. We offered the webinars that you guys facilitated for us during at launch.
Sorry, what was that? I missed that last bit.
We did the webinars at launch. Webinars for leaders. So we haven't we did posters. Yeah, posters, email comms, comms from the Vice Chancellor. Yeah. But we didn't do anything. I don't think we did anything out. Oh, we had our pilot groups as well. Yeah. Yeah, so they were good.
How many people did you have in the pilot group?
A couple of hundred. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So people from around the uni.
Yeah, and we did launch packs as well. So we had a notepad with red on it, a pen.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
We did have so prior to launch we had a wellbeing expo. So there was a bit of a kind of teaser campaign that went out around Red's coming this way. So we had like pamphlets and notepads, etc. to hand out at the wellbeing expos that occurred on every campus.
Nice.
Yeah, we didn't do anything I don't think we did anything out there.
No, but that's good. Like it was, you had a lot going though. So it sounds like
Yeah.
I want to cycle back a little bit too. Like when you were going through the different providers and you were looking at different systems, and like what was it that you were looking for that made like Reward Gateway's solution stand out?
The main thing that stood out for us with the Reward Gateway solution, I think, was having that relationship manager and going technical advice. Yeah. I think that was probably key. Yeah. Reporting, we liked the reporting aspect. That was good. Because again, trying to create that narrative to how we're living our values. Yeah. The reports could do that. Yeah. And I think the other key thing that we were looking for is the ability to administer the framework that we've developed.
Yeah, okay.
And another